What do lawyers actually do, especially when you're just starting out as a brand new baby lawyer? I know it can be tough to get a read on how much of lawyering is like anything that you see in movies and TV shows and books. And even if you have a sneaking suspicion that lawyering can't possibly just be making objections in court all day or finding the smoking gun, what is it then? What are you signing yourself up to do all day, every day, if you decide that you want to become a lawyer? Well, that is exactly what we're diving into in today's video. So if you are excited to get started, hit that like button and let's go. So when we talk about what you're going to be doing day to day as a lawyer, we first need to break up the law into two main categories: litigation and transactional law, also known as corporate law. So let's talk about litigation first. Now, litigation is what most of us think of when we think of lawyers. That is those of us being in the courtroom, objecting to evidence, voir direing the jury, cross-examining witnesses, presenting evidence, all of those really performative aspects that you see in movies like Legally Blonde and A Few Good Men and My Cousin Vinny. And litigation at its core is all about resolving disputes between parties. So you're either going to be the lawyer bringing a lawsuit against somebody, or you're going to be the lawyer defending a lawsuit brought against somebody. As a new litigation associate just starting out at a law firm, there are three main types of projects that are going to take up the majority of your time. And the first one is case research, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. A partner is going to come to you and ask you to research a particular legal issue and how courts have treated that legal issue in the past. So a partner might come to you and say, Angela, I want you to research the standard for wrongful termination in the state of California and tell me how courts have dealt with that kind of case in the past, specifically where an employee has talked about their political views in the office. And so then I would go and look up the different cases in the past that have had an employee who was allegedly wrongfully terminated for talking about their political views and see how courts have treated those types of cases in the past, if they have found that a claim does exist or they have found that a claim does not exist, and why. The second project that will take up a lot of your time as a litigation associate is writing and responding to discovery requests. Now, in the litigation process, discovery is by far the biggest chunk of any litigation. It is all about requesting information relevant to the lawsuit from the other side and then providing information to the other side in response to their request for information about the lawsuit. And so when we are writing discovery requests on the other side, we're asking for things like written answers, documents, presentations, emails that are relevant to the lawsuit. And subsequently, when the other side asks us for information, it is our job to provide them with written answers, documents, presentations, emails of our information that we have that is relevant to the lawsuit as well. The third type of project that will take up a lot of your time as a new litigation associate is called document review, or doc review for short. And this is directly related to the project we just talked about, because when we submit requests for discovery from the other side, they are inevitably going to send us a bajillion documents. And that can be anywhere from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of pages of documents. And when those documents come in, junior litigation associates are the ones that are logging into those databases, clicking through all the documents and marking them relevant for certain aspects of the case. On the flip side, when we produce documents to the other side in response to their discovery requests, we never just want to send out documents without looking at them first, because they could be privileged and they could be irrelevant to the lawsuit. And we never just want to send our clients documents that have nothing to do with the lawsuit at all. And so what junior litigation associates will be assigned to do is doc review in reverse, meaning we are looking through our clients' documents to mark them privileged or not and relevant or not to the litigation before they ever get produced to the other side. And so you may hear of document review as sort of the rite of passage of any litigation associate, and that is absolutely true. And looking forward to the future, when you become a mid-level associate into a senior level associate, you're going to be doing more exciting things with your time, like sitting in on meet and confers with opposing counsel, taking depositions of the other side's witnesses, actually being in the room when the client calls or comes to the office, drafting legal briefs in support of or defense of motions, and the creme de la creme of any litigator's career, which is speaking in the courtroom. So that could be oral argument in front of the judge, or if one of your cases actually goes to trial, directing a witness, cross-examining a witness, helping in voir dire of juries. So that really is sort of the pinnacle and adrenaline rush of any litigator's career, which are those moments when you're actually in the courtroom. So what does it look like to be on the other side of the coin and work as a lawyer in transactional law, aka corporate law? Because this area of the law has nothing to do with courtrooms or judges or juries or witnesses or evidence, and everything to do with closing deals, which you may have seen if you're a fan of Suits or Partner Track. And so when we're talking about transactional law, we're talking about creating agreements, creating transactions to help companies grow and operate. And so the areas of the law that fall under transactional law include things like mergers and acquisitions, financing and loaning, private equity, tax, so much more based in contracts, based in transactions and agreements to get companies on the same page moving forward in their businesses. So in full disclosure, I was not a transactional/corporate associate, so I have very little insight into what the actual day-to-day of that life and that career look like. But there are two amazing deep dives. I'm going to link to two videos right here if you're curious to get to know a little bit more about what those specifics are that you can expect as a transactional/corporate associate. But as far as I can tell, it does come down to three main projects as well that are going to be taking up most of your time. And the first one that everyone always talks about is due diligence, which sounds like it's going through hundreds, if not thousands, of pages of documents of your client company to determine what the material details are, terms are for the deal you're looking to negotiate. So that could be legal documents, that could be corporate governance documents, financial documents, really doing a deep dive into how your client company operates so that you can have a really good idea of what needs to make it into the deal and what doesn't. The second type of project it seems that transactional/corporate associates spend a lot of their time on is actually drafting the contract document itself. So it sounds like there's always some form of template contract or from a separate deal that was done recently. And then the junior associate is required to strip all of the details, all of the terms from that deal and replace them with the terms of the deal that they are currently helping to negotiate. So the different client company and opposing company details, all of the terms, all of the disclosures, all of the different things that both parties want in that deal. And these deals can be 200, 300, 400 pages long. And can take a large amount of time and energy to make sure everything is perfect. And then the third type of project that associates seem to spend a lot of time on are conference calls. So that could be conference calls with your client company, making sure you have all of the relevant information, conference calls with the opposing company on the other side of the deal, making sure you have all of their relevant information that needs to be included in the deal, and maybe conference calls with financial advisors or vendors that may also have relevant details for the terms of the deal. And looking forward to the future, from what I can tell, exciting things to look forward to are when you become a mid-level associate to a senior level associate and you're actually running these deals yourself, at least on a smaller scale, for smaller type companies or smaller type deals that you're closing. So you're not only the one who's going through these very, very detailed documents, you're actually helping manage the junior associates below you who are now doing these tasks that you did when you were first starting out. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful in giving you more of a tangible understanding of what in the world you're actually going to be doing as a new lawyer just starting out, in case you are still trying to figure out if you want to pursue a law degree or you're already in it and you want to start preparing yourself for what is to come in the days and weeks and months of your legal career from the very beginning. And if you haven't gifted yourself the insight of what that perfect match fit type of law is for you, definitely pause the video, take 90 seconds and go grab that for yourself. And if you guys have any questions about anything we covered in the video, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you see every new video as soon as it comes out. And I will see you guys in the next one.